Hey everyone, it's Naima here. How y'all doing today? It's a beautiful Monday here in Asheville, and I am at my place of work where I do body work, and I have a little time in between clients, and I wanted to come on here and briefly talk about one of the Instagram posts I posted today. And I posted this quote that says, "Anything that you can do, I shouldn't have to do while bleeding." And I put a little caption on there to talk a little bit about what this quote meant to me. And I just wanted to come on here and do the same. There's this quote out there that I've seen going around a lot saying, "Anything that you can do, I can do bleeding." And I understand where that thought is coming from. This idea of like women's empowerment, female body empowerment, that even if we're bleeding, that we're still strong and empowered and capable and like not less than, and we can still do everything. And I get that. There's a gnat there. I get that idea, and that's nice, for us to be empowered and feel good. And I think that that is a byproduct of the patriarchal society that we live in and the capitalistic society that we live in. This idea that we are machines and that we need to always be going, we need to always be producing, we need to always be productive. And if we aren't being productive and going and producing, that there's something wrong with us, or that we're not good enough, or we're less than the man, So I just wanted to invite you to know that you are allowed to rest. You are allowed to take the time to bleed, especially during your, when you're bleeding, to rest, especially the first day or two of your cycle. This is a time that is so precious, really, and it's such a gift. And it's, back in historical times, if you ever read the book The Red Tent, I highly recommend it. It's so good, and I can, like, as I'm saying this, I can envision some of those words, and the imagery that it played for me was like back in ancient times or older times, like women would go into the moon lodges, go into the red tents, and they would take the first 2, 3, 4, 5 days of their cycles to just bleed together and be together, and they would stop. And the men in the community understood this and didn't push them, and then in fact they distanced themselves from the red tent and whatever like witchcraft and magicry, is that a word? Magic that these women were doing, and let them be. And the women took that time for themselves, and they weren't cooking, they weren't tending to the gardens or feeding everybody in the community. They were bleeding, and they were nurturing each other and taking care of each other and making their rituals. And this has been lost over time, and it's not recognized in our society yet. Again, hopefully it will be again at some point. But even though it's been lost, and even though life does not, the way that life and our culture and our society is laid out now does not really like help you to do this on your own, you can still do these practices on your own. You can still create your own moon lodge, whether that's for a day or 2 hours or 2 days or whatever you're able to do. It's so important to rest. The first day of your cycle, give yourself the permission to just take it easy, to lay down, to put a hot water bottle on your belly, to drink warm tea, to eat chocolate, to nourish yourself. And I also urge you to start having conversations with people in your life, your loved ones that you trust and that they care for you and they love for you. And start having conversations with them about what you're needing when you're bleeding. And start expressing like, I'm unable to do that task. I'm unable to be here for you in the same supportive way that I might be at other times, because I need to be supported to myself, and I need to be supported by you as well. I would suggest having that conversation with like a best friend, a roommate, your partner, your lover, and just like begin the practice of communicating this, spreading this message into the world that like, yes, I am bleeding and I am capable and I don't need to keep going. And if you do feel like you need to keep going, reach out and ask for help and use your resources around you so you can take extra time to care for yourself. Caring for yourself those first couple days while you're bleeding, whether you have cramps, whether you feel fine or not, like, your body is just doing a lot. Some people have awful cramps and some people don't feel anything. Bless the ones that don't feel anything. Lucky you. And even though, whoever you are, your body is doing an immense thing. It is shedding the endometrial lining from your uterus, and it's, your uterus is contracting and it's pushing that tissue out through your cervix and out of your vagina, and like, that is a large event in and of itself. That's a lot going on in the body. You don't need to be doing. That's what your body's doing. So, yeah, spread this message far and wide, I think it's really important that we as women and female-bodied people uplift each other and support each other and empower each other to say, no, it's okay. I don't need to be doing that. To say that to yourself and still love yourself and know inside of yourself that you're not being lazy or not productive or inefficient, that it is absolutely crucial and really vital for you to rest and take care of yourself. Because when you take care of yourself, everything else just flows in a better way, and the rest of your cycle will be able to have more vibrancy and energy. And as you ease back into the premenstrual time before you start bleeding again, that PMS symptoms, maybe they'll lessen. Maybe if you rest a little bit more at the beginning of your cycle when you're bleeding, your PMS could go down. Your boobs could not be as sore. You could not be like as irritable or annoyed. Like, I'm speaking from my own experience. When I allow myself that time, I've noticed changes in the other times of my cycles. So I hope that this message, above all, has delivered one clear thing, and that is, you have permission to rest. You have permission to rest while you're bleeding, and you don't need to apologize for it or feel any less than. You're not a machine. You're a bleeding body. Bless and care for your bleeding body. Thanks for watching, y'all. Happy day.